Tweeks, the driver you're looking at on your screens there, number 64, Oliver Greenall for the Fusion Motorsport team. 2 wins out of 2 heat races for Oliver this morning. He starts this one from pole position in the final. This will be a 15-minute plus 1 lap race. A long time for these junior X30 drivers to get themselves into a nice old tangle. There is Harry Burgoyne Jr. Really, really strong run so far from Harry today. He starts 3rd. There's Sam Shaw. He was fastest of all in the opening heat for the premium karting team. He starts 5th on the grid. 7th on the grid for number 37, the Cato Motorsport, number 37 of Luke Watts. And then looking down to 9th place on the grid, there is the winner of the last round, Daryl Taylor of the MLC Motorsport team. Starting directly behind Daryl, one of the other Fusion drivers, that is number 11, Kanato Lee. And then next in line is the number 57 Mark Litchfield racing kart of Sam Heading. Moving down the order, there is the first of the, on this side, that's Archie Walker in kart number 91 for the Argenti Motorsport team. And then it is one of the Dan Holland racing karts, that's Marcus Lucio. Starting directly behind number 44 Marcus Lucio is Mitchell Gibbons. Mitchell, one of last year's Cadet Honda front runners. I believe he was the Cadet Honda champion last year. And then it is another Dan Holland racing kart. That's a newcomer to the championship. That's Mikhail Singh, who is making his debut in the BKC this weekend. Now we're down to one of the KR Sport entries. Now that is the number 90 kart of Connor Clifford. And Connor did a good job to make it into the final after failing to finish one of his heats. There's Alex Moody. Well, not Moody he's in at the moment. Well, fair to middling, I would say, because he's in the final, but not very far up the grid. And now we move back to some of those towards the tail end of this 34-strong grid. Brandon Templeton in kart number 23. Justin Sherwood in kart number 78. There's the number 61 kart of Louis Johnson Cool. So that is the odd-numbered side of the grid. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, etc., etc. As our camera there moves back up. Now we're on to the even side of the grid. So starting 2nd position, your current championship leader, number 77 for the Mick Barrett racing team. That is Bart Harrison. Starting 2nd of the grid. Starting 4th will be the GP plate holder, Strawberry Racing's Aaron Walker. And there's Aaron just having a little chat with his Strawberry Racing crew. Josh Rowledge, who won the opening round of the season at Rowra in kart number 10. He starts on the 3rd row of the grid, and on the 4th grid, the driver that was very kind enough to walk us around the track yesterday evening, that is Matthew Higgins in his Dan Holland Racing Alonso kart. Then it is first of the KR Sport karts on this side of the grid. That's Alicia Barrett in kart number 22. She's chatting away to her mechanic Ollie Walker right by there. And then we're into the Litchfield Motorsport team. That is the Litchfield Motorsport number 73 of Lewis Mackey, and the number 17 of Oliver Stewart for the Birrell Art Jade racing team. And his mechanic seems quite happy to see us as well. Thank you very much. That's always good to see. There is Connor Zilish, American Connor Zilish, who has made the move over from Italy to race in this round of the championship for the KR Sport team. And his teammate, behind him, there is, I think that was Kian Shields possibly. There is the Fusion Motorsport number 47 of Jessica Edgar, and now the number 71 kart, that's Mark Litchfield Racing's Harvey Ryby. Rashan Chigarimbo starts number 92 kart from, I think, about the 10th row of the grid. And he's had a tough day for Fusion Motorsports. And there is Brandon Carr. So Brandon Carr with his old Ollie Rowland Motorsport cadet race suit, but he is on a Cosmic chassis in that number 25 kart. And he is good to see this driver, number 59, Oscar Joyce. He missed most of yesterday's practice sessions and missed the 2nd round of the series as well with an injury, but he made it there, and he's got, yeah, oh, that's one of the MLC mechanics there giving him a tap on the head. There is the next driver on the grid, KR Sport, number 41 of Hayden Chance. Oh, thank you, James. Yes, Hayden Chance. I was about to say Hayden Chance, but I was pausing for dramatic effect, not because I've forgotten what his name was, honestly, I promise. And the MLC Motorsport driver there, starting directly behind Hayden. Not a bad season so far for Hayden. There is Michael Rapsey in kart number 50 for the BMR Restart team on the Zenon chassis, and he rounds out the field in 34th position. So we'll try and see. I'm not sure if it's maybe Harry Cottrell, who was the only driver not to make the final. Yeah, there were 35 junior X30s entered, 34 made it to the final, so I don't think Harry Cottrell's out there. Now, we've been through the grid visually. Let's go through it properly on your screens. Oh, thank you very much. Oliver Green, so gentlemanly of you. Oliver Green and Bart Harrison on row number 1. Harry Burgoyne Jr. and Aaron Walker, row 2. Sam Shaw and Josh Rowledge start from row number 3.
Row 4, Luke Watts starting in 7th place. Then it's Matthew Higgins in 8th place. And it's Daryl Taylor in 9th, with Alicia Barrett in 10th place. Kanato Lee in 11th, and then rounding out the top 12, Lewis Mackey.
Sam Henning and Oliver Stewart go from row 7, and then row 8 is Archie Walker and America's Connor Zilish. Row 9, Marcus Lucio and fast Freddie Spindlow.
19th, Mitchell Gibbons, and then Jessica Edgar at 20th place on the row. Mackay Singh in 21st place, then Harvey Ryby. Again, Ryby.
Oh, let's call the whole thing off.
Yeah, let's not go home. 22nd place, Connor Clifford in 23rd, and then Rashan Chigarimbo in 24th place.
25th for Alex Moody, Brandon Carr 26th, Brandon Templeton 27th, Oscar Joyce in 28th, Jack Sherwood and, pause for dramatic effect, not that I've forgotten his name, Hayden Chance, rounding out the top 30.
Absolutely no chance you forgot his name.
No, not at all. Louis Johnson called, Louis Johnson called, Charlie Rippin, Aidan Lynn and Michael Rapsey round at the field, and that means, by my calculations, which are always right, never wrong, Harry Cottrell, sadly, for the S8 racing team, was the only driver to sadly miss out on the final. So here we go, 15 minutes, 34 junior X30 drivers. Matthew Higgins was saying to us on the track walk yesterday he was hoping that the close proximity of the walls means that the junior X30 drivers are a little bit calmer. It's a false start, and see the lighting gantry flashing red and orange on the outside of row number 1. There's the green and yellow chevron flag waving for the marshal post, so they will go around again.
First false start of the day.
Well, do you know what? That is absolutely correct. You know, I'm glad you were paying attention, because, but you are, yeah, that is right. The first false start of the day. Let's hope it's the last, and let's hope they can all behave themselves now. A nice bunch of yobbos, and get this go-kart race underway.
Indeed. Now, yes, like I say, we were expecting a false start earlier on. We didn't get one. No. I thought I spoke too soon.
Yes, you did, but it's fine. It was okay. I mean, to be fair, though, they did crash. The cadets did crash on the rolling lap. So you were right in your proclamation that this could go false start, but it didn't. Now the juniors have had a proper false start, but again, Greenall looking, he's only 12th in the championship coming into today. He scored very good maximum heat points. Harrison on the outside of row number 1. He leads the championship, but hasn't won a final yet. Now we're racing. Off into turn number 1 we go. Hold your breath into pit bend. Will they all come out facing the right way? Will the leaders do? Midfield are all pretty much behaving themselves. Good. Now we can go racing into turn number 2. Oh, no, they waited to turn number 2 to crash. They go around, and I think there's at least 3 or 4 wide. They were trying to do Bambino. Somebody through the barriers.
Someone's straight through the barriers.
I mean, that was one of the MLC Motorsport carts there that just was a right hand down. Off we go.
I tell you what, these junior X30s do like to find shortcuts around this circuit here, don't they? We've had one go sky high.
Oh, and there's another one into the barriers.
Yes.
That is the number 41 kart of Hayden Chance.
Yeah.
And his victory chances are down to no chance.
Yes.
Now, sadly. Unfortunately, but hopefully he'll be able to get back in. Yes, I can just see him out the corner of my eye. At least he's back in the race. Long way to go. Kanato Lee gets a warning flag as we complete the opening lap with Oliver Greenall leading. They've got to try and peg him back because he proved in the heats that when he gets some clean air, he goes. There's a move from Connor Zilish. It hasn't taken him long to get into the action of the British Championship, the American driver, as from Florida is Connor. And he is going into turn number 4, but he is lower reach of the top 10 in 6th position now. Leading the way, Oliver Greenall from Harry Burgoyne Jr. and Sam Shaw. Bart Harrison, the championship leader, has slipped to 4th.
Yep, so an exciting start then from the Junior X30 for their final. Race 13 of the day, 13.5 minutes left on the timer of this 15-minute final. Coming to the end of lap number 2 then through the final corner, and you can definitely see the top 4 slightly breaking away from the rest of the field. As across the line, Oliver Greenall, as you say, a couple of wins earlier on today, holding on to the lead for this one. Fastest lap of the race though, Harry Burgoyne Jr., 2nd place. So looking feisty is the young driver.
Yeah, now, and of course the young Scotsman, you know, Harry Burgoyne Jr. checking over his shoulder to see where Sam Shaw is. You know, they want, it's all well and good playing follow your leader, and that's a nice tactical battle to play, but of course in the context of today's racing, don't want to play follow your leader with Oliver Greenall, because Oliver Greenall has proved he's got the fastest kart here over a single lap. They want to draw him into a fight. They want to start battling and slowing him down, because if possible, you know, if he can start, if they can drag him into a scrap, he can lose a couple of positions, and then some of the drivers that haven't been able to win a race yet. Harry Burgoyne Jr. has not won a race yet, neither has Sam Shaw, and again, Greenall defends into Pitts Bend. That's significant. So we start lap number 4, and Greenall was forced. He didn't have to, he was forced by Harry Burgoyne. Again, he's doing it again into the complex. This is what they wanted. They want to have a nice big pack of karts to the front so that Greenall can't escape. He checks over his shoulder, and again, he has another little look just to double check how many drivers are directly behind him through turn number 4 now. When will Burgoyne make his move? He's a tight line into turn number 5 from Harry Burgoyne Jr. And they come down through the corridor, and it looks as though Burgoyne Jr., at least in the early stages, he has got the pace. He wants to try and utilise that, make the most of it before Greenall. His tyres come up to proper temperature and he can stretch away.
Yeah, it must fill you with a slight sense of confidence going into these laps, knowing that the race leaders keep looking over his shoulder, wondering where you are. So, and again, side-by-side action. Who's that?
That's Sam Shaw moving into 2nd place. But it
surely
does,
not.
It is, but Sam Shaw 2nd place, yes, surely so. But he's now got to catch up to, because again, Greenall's pulled away. There's Connor Zilish, first fast lap of his British karting championship career for Zilish, the American driver in kart number 24, 47.64 seconds. Now again, you've got a very technical first half of the lap and a very fast, generally, second half of the lap. Shaw and Burgoyne Jr. very good through the technical section. Greenall stretches them out on these long straights.
Yes, indeed. 11 minutes left on the clock then. A clear gap opening up then between these drivers. Connor Zilish at the back of this group of 6 and looking down the inside there of Rolich.
Yep.
And couldn't quite get it done there. The number 68 of Harry Burgoyne Jr. putting that pressure on Sam Shaw as he goes through. Can't quite do anything there. Under pressure as well from the 77 of Bart Harrison as well, just behind. And again, these two, Connor Zilish actually managing to get past there through turn number 4. So moving in front of the number 10 of Josh Rowledge and moving up into P5.
Yeah, now unfortunately we're not seeing Aaron Walker on our screens. Aaron Walker went out on the opening lap, so the GP plate holder came into this event 4th in the championship. And you do drop around in point scores, but again, that is not good news for Aaron Walker. He's out, so is Hayden Chance, sadly. So we've got 32 drivers left running. And I'm just having a little look as you're watching the action. I'm looking at the timing screen. Daryl Taylor, I think Daryl Taylor may have been the MLC Motorsport kart that went to the barriers on the opening lap, because he is down in 20th position. So it's not going to be 2 wins out of 3 here, but Sam Shaw is going to try and make it 4 different winners from 4 finals. Harry Burgoyne Jr. doing the same. Bart Harrison in 4th, and Connor Zilish. Well, Connor Zilish is not in the full championship. He's missed the 3rd round. He's not thinking about points. He's just thinking, well, you know, I'm stuck in Europe. I can't go back to the United States, so I may as well come and race in the UK while I'm here. Just go for that win. And of course, he's never been here before. He probably never heard of Dunkeswell before this weekend, and here he is. That's why he races in the CIK events in Europe, the FIA events as well. He's a top talent, is Connor Zilish, as are all these drivers. But Zilish really showing his class here now, and he's closing in on the top 4.
Yep, Greenall last time around set a new fastest lap of the race. Again, still looking over his shoulder to see where that gap is. But you can see there slightly opening up. 0.3 of a second now is the gap between Greenall and Shaw as they head through turn number 4 now, round the fast sweeper of turn number 5. Everyone doing that little bit of the follow the leader. Those tyres definitely are back up to temperature then for the front runner for Fusion Motorsport as they head round penultimate corner onto the back straight.
Yep, and Sam Shaw in second place. I was chatting to Sam Shaw's dad this morning and saying that Sam's always really good in the heat races, but he's just never managed to get it together all the way through and score that big win in the final. This could be his best chance yet. He is chasing down the race leader, Oliver Greenall. So Sam Shaw in that turquoise and white premium karting machine. He has got a couple of teammates, but to be fair, no disrespect, Sam Shaw is the only one of the premium karting team that is legitimately running up the front in this class all the time. So he's their team leader, and he is showing the way. And Harry Burgoyne Jr. again. This is Oliver Rowland Motorsport's first year managing anything other than a cadet kart, and Harry Burgoyne Jr. is showing that they're not just a good cadet team. They are good in any class that they put their mind to. Harrison in fourth place. Again, so consistent for Harrison. I mean, Josh Rowledge and Daryl Taylor, they're just behind Harrison the points, but they're behind him in the race as well. When it counts, he's not winning, but he is consistent. Here's a battle further back. That is Luke Watts going past Oliver Stewart for 7th place. But these 6, it's sort of 5 with Josh Rowledge and 6 hanging on. We're on lap number 10 now. We've still got half this race to go. Anything can happen, and in karting, it probably will.
Yes, that's an excellent way of putting it, actually. It's, anything can happen, and with these Junior X30s, we have seen many things happen through these laps and heats so far today. It's out of the penultimate corner again. The hanger bend, everyone tucking in. The wind dying down. Slipstream still going to be as effective, but that headwind not affecting the race leader as much as it was earlier on in the day or the weekend. So Greenall still leading from Shaw. Then it's Burgoyne Jr., Harrison, then Zilish. Rowledge just holding on.
Oh dear, and I'm looking at fast Freddie Spindlow stopping on the exit of turn number 1. A mechanical problem for the number 60 KR Sport kart. And that's one of the teammates to Connor Zilish. I'm not going to suggest that the thing's going to happen there. There's Freddie out of the kart. Sorry to interrupt you mid-flow.
No, you're quite all right. It's 6.5 minutes left, and that's an absolute disaster then for the number 60 plate. And as you say, we're on lap 11 now, 10 laps completed, and still looking very close.
Yes, we are indeed. We complete lap number 11. Quick rundown of the order. It's Greenall leading by 0.3 of a second over Shaw. Burgoyne Jr. third. Fourth is Harrison. The danger man at the moment for me is 5th place driver Connor Zilish. He's closing in on Bart Harrison. Then it is Rowledge in 6th. Watt 7th. Matthew Higgins is 8th. Oliver Stewart 9th. Sam Heading rounds out the top 10. Alicia Barrett is 11th, followed by Lewis Mackey, Archie Walker, Connor Clifford and Kanato Lee. That's your top 15. Then 16 through 20, it's Mitchell Gibbons, Rashan Chikarimbo, Mikhail Singh, Daryl Taylor, still mired down in the pack, and Marcus Luzio rounds at the top 20. The remaining runners, Lynn, Moody, Rippin, Johnson, Cool, Carr, Ryby, Joyce, Edgar, Templeton, Sherwood and Rapsey. 31 drivers from the 34 starters remain. We've lost Freddie Spindlow, Hayden Chance and Aaron Walker. 5.5 minutes to go, and it is still Greenall leading.
Yep, still very close though between those top 2. Zilish all over the back of the 77 of Bart Harrison as they exit out of turn number 1 into the braking zone of the complex. Down the inside goes the KR Sport driver from America, and that's a great overtake through the complex.
Can Connor Zilish get on the podium? There's side by side a little bit further back there. That's number 59 kart of Oscar Joyce, one of Sam Shaw's premium karting teammates. So that's a premium karting kart battling with a fusion kart, but it's not the 2 leaders. It's a little bit further back in the pack, and I'm trying to see exactly where that. I think that was for 25th and 26th position. That was Jessica Edgar and Oscar Joyce. But just goes to show you just how competitive this is all the way down the field. Now there's Zilish. He's got that black and yellow Ward Racing outfit. That's the team he races for in the FIA Championships. Ward Racing from Sweden. And he's turning his hand to Ash Orchard's KR Sport team here. He made that move on Bart Harrison. It did cost him a little bit of time. He's got 4.5 minutes now to get his head down and drag his way up to that top 3 and then make a couple of moves.
Yep, lots of support in the background there. You can see the vigorous arms waving of that's I think the Team America sign of go faster, I think it is.
Yeah.
That's the panic sign.
Yeah. Hurry up, hurry up.
There we go. 4 minutes left on the clock then. And still very close action there, the 37 and the 75 under very immense pressure. Luke Watts, Matthew Higgins, who did our track walk earlier on, and still showing us how it is done out there on the circuit. 4 minutes on the clock, just ticking by.
So now we're approaching the end of lap 13, so we're on lap number 14 now. No, we're on lap number 15 now.
14
yes.
laps completed.
Well, it's 10 is the best I can do, because then I got to take my shoes and socks off the count. So, I mean, you can't blame me for that. I mean, I'm only 39. I'm just about learned to talk. I haven't learned to talk sense yet. There's Higgins now chasing down Luke Watts. So, Matthew Higgins, the son of rally legend David Higgins, the nephew of rally legend Mark Higgins. But he decided he likes circuit racing, not so much rallying. He did tell me yesterday that when he was 8 years old, he had a Subaru Impreza rally car that he was allowed to test at his dad's rally school. That's incredible.
At 8 years old?
Yeah.
That's
he said he was fully tricked out as well. Brilliant. Love that. I said, oh, you mean it was a Suzuki, like a little 1000cc? No, it was an Impreza.
No. There we go. 37, just cutting those curbs out the final corner. That's allowed Mr. Higgins to get alongside, though, down the inside. Nicely done. Perfectly timed.
Matthew Higgins moves into P7. And there is, again, the wave from that driver in the barrel, the gentleman in the barrel jacket there, urging his pilot on. And, a little bit of action there coming out of the first corner. That was we caught the tail end of what was a potential three-wide manoeuvre. And they are not missing anything at the front, because Oliver Greenall, he has extended his advantage to 0.6 of a second over Sam Shaw. Shaw, in turn, Shaw is 2/10 in front of Harry Burgoyne Jr. Connor Zilish is just over a second behind Burgoyne in 4th position. And you can see Greenall checking over his shoulder again. And this is what he wanted to see. He doesn't have to think about defending. He's just easing away. But I mean, for Shaw and Burgoyne, this would be their first podiums of the year if they stay as they are. And Greenall, well, he won the second round of the championship at Rowrah on the Sunday, but he had an awful round, retired from several heat races, and didn't finish very well at all in the final at Kimbolton, so he's only 12th in the championship standings. Coming into today is Greenall, but he is going to leap into contention, especially with some of the drivers in front of him. And I'm looking mainly, well, Charlie Rippin's not featuring. Freddie Spindler is out of this race, so is Aaron Walker. So Greenall, his championship chances are not over yet, and he's doing him a great bit of good in this race now. But what can Sam Shaw do? Shaw came into today 6th in the point standings, Burgoyne 11th in the point standings, and they are still pushing Greenall all the way.
Yep, super close still from these two as they go through. Now, you think they know how little time is remaining. Could they work together to try and close that gap? It's only half a second between the two of them. Anything can happen, if these two work together. As soon as they start scrapping, that's it. Greenall's gone. There's no chance of getting on that top spot. If they just knuckle down, work together, try and peel away from these guys who are behind them, I reckon it is possible to catch them. I mean, we're 18 laps into this race, and there's still 50 seconds left on the clock.
And again, all it takes is for Greenall to miss one apex, to clip one curb, and Shaw and Burgoyne know they'll be with him. So there's Greenall checking over his shoulder again. Zilish is not going to catch them. He is in 4th place. 5th for Harrison, 6th for Rowledge. Can Greenall become the first 2-time winner this season in Junior X30? Now, Burgoyne's got a good run. If Burgoyne can give Shaw a bit of a shove down the mini straight, no, Shaw's going to defend instead, coming into turn number 4. That could give the race to Greenall, but it's game on for 2nd place. And now Shaw is defending into turn number 5. I think he's thinking, we're not going to catch the race leader. Let's squabble it out for 2nd and 3rd. Can they hang on, or will Zilish catch them as they come into hangar as the clock strikes 0? Last lap ball will go out next time around.
Yep, it's going to be all eyes. Zilish is going to be watching this through his visor, thinking, go on, take each other out or go for an overtake. I just want to get close enough to potentially get a podium for the first time here in the champs. Defensive goes Shaw. Then round the switchback it goes. Here comes Burgoyne Jr. side by side. Can't quite do anything there. Almost looked like a bit of contact between the two of them as they go through the complex. Out onto mini straight now. Still side by side as they exit now in towards turn 4. Down, who's going to break the latest? Is it going to be a switchback move here out of turn 4? Not quite again, but still scrapping away, and that's allowing Greenall to just break away. Yep, and
Burgoyne's got a couple of opportunities left. Coming into the corridor now. Shaw defends the inside line into hangar. Burgoyne's going to push him at the straight. He's got dog leg and then the run to the flag. Oliver Greenall looks like he is going to take the win here at Mansell Raceway. He's been undefeated in Dunkeswell for Greenall. He takes the win. Shaw holds on to 2nd. That's his best result. And Burgoyne a fantastic 3rd for the cadet graduate. Zilish, the American driver. Well, if he hadn't heard of Dunkeswell before this weekend, He's heard of it now, and he's come home in a very strong 4th place. And look at that, battles going on all the way down through the field. 30 drivers still running, and pretty much all of them still fighting over something as they come across the line. There is a driver in 30th, number 50, Michael Rapsey. But that's the first time I think Michael has qualified for the final this year. He finishes in 30th place. Brandon Carr, Freddie Spindlow, Hayden Chance and Aaron Walker sadly failed to finish. And there is your result. By 1.02 seconds, your provisional Junior X30 winner, Oliver Greenall. Sam Shaw takes second. Harry Burgoyne Jr. finishes third. Connor Zilish is fourth. Bart Harrison. Is that enough? I think that should be enough to hang on to his points lead for him. Daryl Taylor only 16th, so not a great result for the Anglo-Filipino driver in 16th position. Further down, Mikai Singh on his British Championship debut this season. He finishes in 20th place. And there is a look at Burgoyne Jr. as they get out of the kart. Good battle there, and good big sort of high five, fist pump. Good sportsmanship there between the top 3. That's what is good to see. You know, it was a hard-fought race, and that goes to show that race, that every single one of those top 3 drivers were at flat-out attack from the moment of the start to the moment they finished. Not a lot of overtaking between them, but they were pushing each other every single step of the way. And they go into post-race scrutineering. And we look there on the right-hand side of your screen. That is the aircraft hangars here at the Dunkeswell Aerodrome. There's a flight school next by. And look at the paddock here. And again, everybody wearing their masks, doing a good job of maintaining social distancing. And I believe that Anthony Jordan will be down to get a brief chat with our provisional race winner, Oliver Greenall, who really earned that win. And again, a perfect performance. 2 heats, 2 wins, 1 final, 1 win. And that is going to put him right in the thick of the championship picture. The next time we will see the Junior X30s, it will be at PF International for their final 2 rounds of the season later on in the year. This season, of course, this truncated season, you know, which started in August, finished in November. It's flashing past very quickly, but don't take it from me. Let's hear from Oliver Greenall himself.
Well, down in the, just after scrutineering, we've picked up our race winner here, Oliver Greenall. Oliver, a fantastic win, a fantastic weekend all this time. The weather has held out for us, the sun's come out, and it's shone on you today.
Yeah, it was a really good weekend. Pole in qualifying and then both heat wins in the final. So led every lap of every race, so it was a productive weekend after the last few we've had. So it's nice to come back and with a win. So yeah, it's good.
I think productive is a great way to call it. It looked like at the start you were struggling with the temperature of the tyres, you were under pressure slightly from the drivers behind, but at the end tyre temps came in and you just pulled away, and a great victory.
Yeah, I think we were a bit lower in the pressure than everyone else, but I think we knew that I could get through at the start because I was on the inside, so once I got through and managed to pull away at the end, so it was good.
Excellent stuff. The Fusion team working hard on the karts, but getting them all ready for you. Again, a fantastic victory for you.
Yeah, I'd love to say a massive thanks to everyone at Fusion, my dad, my mum, my dad for mechanicking me as well, especially Chris Rogers, Tom Arm, and everyone else that's helped me. So.
Awesome stuff. Congratulations on the weekend. Well, Henry, it's great to chat to our race winner there from the Junior X30. Back to you in the commentary box.
So the next presentation we come to today here at Mansell Raceway is Junior X30. Another fantastic race, very hard fought all the way through, a packed grid of talented drivers. But here at Mansell Raceway, we have the top rookie, and finishing in 19th place, his younger brother took top rookie in Mini X30, but taking it in Junior, it's Charlie Rippin. So the top rookie prize is given to the drivers in their first full season in the British Karting Championship. So well done, Charlie. top 3 time overall, and it's great to see some new faces making their way onto the podium. Finishing in 3rd place his first year out of cadet. It's been a big jump, but he's been worth it. It's Harry Burgoyne Jr. So Harry for the Oliver Ola Motorsport team, and he's doing it in front of his boss this weekend, which is always good. But this driver, he's been so quick in the heat races this year, and he's finally put together a really strong drive in the final. Driving for Premium Karting, your 2nd place finisher, Sam Shaw. Now this season has been a real case of feast or famine for this next driver. It's his 2nd win. When he wins well. When it goes wrong big time. But he's playing himself into championship consideration for the 2nd time this season. Your Junior X30 winner, Ollie Greenall. So we'll have a quick photo with Ollie. Oh, thank you very much, Chris. So, Ollie, I mean, as days go, that's not bad. 2 heats, 2 wins, and a win in the final. But you know, these guys pushed you all the way. More importantly, your championship bid is back on.
Yeah, it's nice to have be back in the championship after Kim Bolton, because it was a disappointing round. So yeah, it was a good race. These 2 pushed me all the way, all weekend. So yeah, it's good to come out on top.
I mean, we talk about the strength in depth in Junior X30. I think I'm right in saying that both Sam and Harry, it's their first podium of the season. You know, all season you've had battles with the Mick Barrett drivers, you've had the battles, you know, in your own team, what have you. What was it like looking around and seeing 2 new faces directly behind you this time?
Yeah, I know they've been fast, like during testing and stuff. But yeah, it's nice to be battling against some different people than normal. So yeah, it was nice.
And they pushed you all the way.
Yeah, they definitely pushed me all the way, and they did really well all weekend, so congratulations to both of them as well. So
excellent, and congratulations to yourself. There we go, your Junior X30 podium, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have official photos, so smile for Chris. I can tell you're smiling behind the mask.